Omnichannel, offering a compelling experience. This talk will be delivered by Vice President Customer Service Operation and 𝗧𝗵𝗺𝗍𝗶𝗄 India Limited, who has more than 16 years of rich experience in various elements of customer servicing at the national and regional levels, like contact centers, automated help services, like IVR, SMS, USSD, online mediums, complaint management, retention, and upselling call center and channel support. Please help me welcome Mr. Taj Anwar on the stage for this talk. Thank you so much.
So, my session, when the event management team contacted me and they said that they have shared the schedule, and I saw the schedule just after lunch. So that was the challenge for me, and I thought that both the challenge to hold people before lunch or before food, and even to keep them awake after food is also equally a challenge. So thank you for the challenge, Swati, and I will try to make it as interesting as possible. So the first thing that you see on the slide, I know it is not for automobile discussion that we are doing it, but I still have put that old car that we would have seen earlier. That's the Omni car, right? And I could only, the moment I thought about the Omni channel, the immediate reaction that came to me is the Omni car that we see earlier, and hence the Omni car there. It was used to be known as a kidnapper's car earlier, and it used to be shown as a scare to children, as a kidnapping car, and it went to a lot of modification. It is still used especially in the town, I'll say tier 2 cities. Used as in a microbus segment, not really in a car segment. It is still used, but the whole purpose why it is here is to talk about that it is more multi-purpose. It is used even as an ambulance. It is used as a family car. It can be used as a shuttle between two places. So that's the all purpose onto that, and that's how I wanted to introduce the subject of the Omni here. Thank you. So when the moment we come to this Omnichannel, there are a lot of buzzwords that comes to our mind. First is there will be certain claims that the companies will make that we are Omnichannel. There will be certain companies who will make you Omnichannel, and there was another claims that somebody will make you. And we have both the claims existing. There will be people who will talk about it as nothing, no big funda about it. It is as simple as just having multiple channels. And then there are claims which will talk about, no, it has a lot of intelligence that you need to do around. And those are the buzzwords on that. Now, what is generally the Omnichannel? And the first thing that comes to the mind is, of course, we talked about the brick and mortars, and now from a brick to a click. And now with the evolution of internet, and thanks to a lot of the telecom operators, including the new entrants, and the way that the data boom has happened, and we see the usage of internet, which has actually boosted the use of app, website, and so on, and hence multiple channels come into picture. But the mere presence of multiple channels is not what makes us Omni. It's the fusion of those channels, what we have heard even during the day, is what is all about Omnichannel. And then as we proceed, we'll be able to see more out of it. Some history to this, if we go back, we see one of the first companies who have actually done this more at a large scale was Best Buy at the time of Walmart. They were trying to take it up as a competition, which was a retail giant, and that's where largely we can say that the first application of the Omnichannel has happened. Now, what is between the two? The very first and the most important discussion and the difference is the multi-channel is all about that you focus on the channel alone. So you have a team which is taking care of contact center. So they are more focused about their service level, their AHT, their FCR, and so on. You have a team which is taking care of the app, so they are more concerned in terms of the clicks, downtime, and so on. You have a team taking care of website, more towards traffic, lead generation, clicks, etc. So it is more channel focused. Whereas Omnichannel is more about customer focus, and that's the largest difference between the two, where individual channel performance is of no meaning, as long as the customer journey is met. So if a lead was getting generated, as long as the lead got generated, irrespective which channel was involved, not involved, what the time that they have spent in it, the journey of the customer is met, and hence it is more towards the customer obsessed, customer focused rather than channel focused. And of course, since it is customer focused, of course it will be effortless versus an effort taking process. It will be more engaging versus a mono engagement which is there. And because it is the omni-channel, you have multiple functions of the organizations also involved into it, which actually gives you the information to make it more strategic rather than make it more transactional off to that, which can be more of an AHT reduction in a contact center, the navigation in IVR, the response time in social media, the number of chat tiles that you get, but it is more about the strategic part of it and what you want to do as a journey onto that. And the last, of course, the measure. So anything that is measured is something that can be managed, and hence you need to have a measurement around it. Here the management is more about, as I said, channel-driven, channel KPIs, whereas in case of omni-channel, the approach that you have is to make it customer-related KPIs, as I said, which is customer retention, customer happiness, promoters, lead generations, and so on. And that's, so as I said, the very first word will make the difference. So a lot of organizations today are going and taking this omni-channel jump, but the most important part is it is not just about making it connected, it's not about connecting the bridges, but it's also believing that this channel is not for the purpose of channel creation, but for the purpose of the customer, and hence customer focused. Some information available. So obviously the companies which have a better omni-channel have a better retention rate than the one who don't have it. And similarly, the companies who have a more omni-channel presence are also have a better take rate or a sales rate. So I've tried to put it both from service as well as marketing perspective. Now some key points here, as I said, since it was after lunch. So the very first one is you will have multiple channels. So you have somebody, I think for a while we have the elderly person who was presenting, and then he was talking about the story of the person walking into a store and the person was aware of the IR thing. So, or of course the pack thing. So it's about one channel aware of the other channel and vice versa, and that is all through your CRM or through you have a system which is keeping them informed. So that is the first element of the omni-channel, and I have given it as an example of Indian neighbor, because we know about the neighbor more than we know about ourselves, and that's how the Indian neighbors typically, when you used to say nowadays, when you say in societies, it's different. But earlier, पड़ोसी के बारे में ज़्यादा मालूम है और पड़ोसी को हमारे बारे में ज़्यादा मालूम है. So that's more about the channel information. The next thing is about, it is not about knowing the information. It is also about that you complement the information. One is that I only know about it, but the other is how I can take it forward. How can I complement the information and not supplement it? Okay, so that's like a relay race where you have traveled a journey of 2 kilometers. From here, I will take it forward. And then that's what I have just again given the example of a new couple, and I have emphasized the word new. That's what my wife told me, that don't put it couple when I was showing the presentation to her. So it's about a new couple which is complementing each other rather than criticizing initially. The third is on the knowing your customer. Now, because you have so much of data available with you, right, that will help you to know the customer better and then suggest which omni-channel that he wants to use it. And today we are in a situation of so much of data available. When you talk about big data, somebody will talk about that we are a data rich, but inside poor, lot of data everywhere and no drop of data to work upon. Okay, I saw this something in the Google slides when it was presented. So you have to know your customers better. And once again, not here a new couple, but a college buddy, when you have the first girlfriend or the first boyfriend that you ever had in your life, that's the time you knew exactly what that person wants, the color, the food, the taste, the perfume, maybe something even more deeper. So you know everything about it, and that's how you have to know your customers even well here. The last point is about we want to do it, and that's the buzzword, so everybody wants to copy it, but there is no simple copy solution here. You need to know your own situations, your own capabilities, how much risk appetite you have, what is your SWOT, and then do it. So it's not a copy paste. You will have a lot of companies available to do it for you. You will have a lot of people joining your company and telling that I can make it. But you need to assess as an organization that which path should I choose to work on that, and hence no Sharma ji ka ladka, because you find it more common that Sharma ji ke ladke ne ye kiya to aapko bhi karna hai. So it's not about that. It's about that you want to know what is something that is good, suitable for you. Omnichannel shoppers have a better lifetime value than somebody else who is not having it. Now, how do you start about it? That's the important questions which we may think. So while it can go for an entire day, you will have consultants available, there are experts available in this room and those can be contacted. But at a macro level, first you need to evaluate. And evaluate not at a business level, but even at a function level as well. When you evaluate what you want, you evaluate what your competencies are. A lot of time, X company or X industry have done it because that's their competency, that's their target segment of the customer. You don't need to copy it exactly. It is in fashion, so I need to copy it. No. Somebody is available on a particular store, a retail presence as well. I don't need it. So hence you need to evaluate it. Very important. It's not just copy and paste it. You need to engage. So this particular piece is extremely important, which is more to do with you have to have the right engagement with the technological partner. I have seen that even in today's presentation where I forgot in whose, but it is that today it is no more about CX as a marketing thing, but CX as a technology, more akin towards technology rather than towards a marketing thing. And hence, the technology part is extremely important. If you have the information available within your organization, the talent available, fantastic. But if you don't have it, do not reinvent it. There are experts available, please approach them and then take their help and then do it. Because it's better to take an expert opinion and then start it rather than keep saving some bucks, some dollars here and then wasting the whole exercise into it. And that's what happens when you go and take the budget to your C-suite and then you have to cut the cost. The first thing that we say that, okay, we can choose a partner which may not be expert, or we'll try to do it in-house. That's the last thing that we should do. We may cut somewhere else, but not on the right partnership. The third is that once you do it, you will also need to evolve and don't create and forget. And that's where we find a lot of organizations, when you go to their websites, even, you find information which is stale. A fax number or a contact number or a chats option. By now, the product company is offering some other products, but the chat option still give you the same old products, which they are still not offering or they have started offering and not giving there. So creating channels is fine, but you need to keep them updated. You need to keep them new, fresh, young, and you need to evolve in time because otherwise it will become stale. And then while you are making, one team is trying to make it popular, and there are customers which are getting onboarded to use those channels. The people who are going and using it is finding it to be old and stale. Okay, and the previous presentation that we were seeing that, customers will be absolutely, all of us will be very ruthless and we will not have that much of time and patience and we will not be that considerate to give it to a brand in case if we find that as an error. Now one example that I have put in, not loading a brand from a perspective of a PII, but without the brand name. And then I have also take you to a customer services example as well. Here it's more about toward the sales and marketing. We find somebody going and searching for searching some tips for running marathon season. If we find this year and November, December is marathon, so a lot of people will have participated in this room. So you might be going and searching for some running tips when you get a shopping ad. Now, shopping ad, why you got it? It's a different subject, which is more toward digital marketing, the search words, and so on and so forth. But then you got an ad. The moment you click onto the ad, you go to a website. You find a lot of companies doing it. So easy. But the landing page has to go to the page which I was searching for, not to the main page. It's easy. You can do the redirection to the main website, but that's where you're losing the customer. It has to go to the page where I clicked for. Then it may also ask you for things like your shoe size, your brand, your runner or not a runner, a pin code, and so on. And the moment I do it, it actually takes me to the physical store linking where I can find out the nearest store to me based on my location, whether I have the stock available, not available, when I want to go and pick it up, physically or they want to be delivered to me, and so on. And the next stage, in case if the product is not available, they store it as an information that I wanted. They get my information, they can give me a call back, they can send me an email notification and also tell me to download an app. And the moment I download the app, I find that product already in my cart. And then because it's already in the cart, it'll give me the notification next time when it is available and ask me to pick it up. And that's where the seamless movement between the physical and the digital, or nowadays when we say phygital, is what is happening through this omni-channel. And finally, you are able to get to the engagement part of it. You get to know through the app, you get to the store. The store guys not only tell you with a very smart omni-channel solution that here is the product which you are waiting for, but what I see is that you also browse A, B, C, D as well, which you browse, but you have not selected it. Any reason why you have not selected, and that's a very subtle way of upselling and adding to the top line of the business. Another example here is of the customer services part of it. And I've taken an example here of an eSIM, which is more used nowadays when you see these phones coming with eSIM, and we have Samsung, Apple, a lot of companies which are coming in. You use it to use a parallel device with a smartwatch and so on. So a customer who has just bought a handset and he is already using it and he wants to convert to an eSIM, may reach up to a contact center of the company and asks for the process of it. He is then informed not over the phone. So then there's a relationship between the contact center and the SMS which is coming to him. So there's a recall value, he knows what to type. Otherwise, the moment the call ends, he may end up in typing something else. So you have a confirmation SMS coming to him that this is what you need to send as a validation or an email and all that. Your systems are made ready for this validation this time because you know that this is the customer which is asking for it. In between, if the customer reaches to on a channel, here an example is social, then they know what has happened and they can actually tell you that, sir, this is the reason why I think you are coming to us. This is what the step that you have missed it. This is what you are supposed to do. So you know the whole history of it. You get an email telling you how to do the QR code, what are the steps that you need to do it. And the last important part that you are not only waiting for all this to happen, but you're also reaching out to the customer proactively through a WhatsApp medium or through some other chat medium and saying that what I know as a journey, because I can see the journey from the back end, that this is the journey that you are traveling now, and I think that now you are absolutely on the edge of the stage, so I can tell you the next thing is that you will fall. So I will tell him that now since you have generated the QR code, I know that you might go wrong, you might face a problem, so here I am to help you. So this is about the proactive part of it, not just waiting for him to react later on. Now, what are some of the challenges that we find here in this omni-channel of that? First one is the digital deflection, or I also say a digital obsession. Okay, because the way that we find a word too much around a buzz, so it has become from a deflection to an obsession to us. Digital deflection and use of apps or chats is good, but we need to evaluate when is something that we need to stop it and give a human to it. The sweet point is the one which will make the digital journeys beautiful for the customer. A lot of time as brands, we are so obsessed with the app usage or the digital usage that our priority becomes the channel, not the customer. Customer chala jaye, koi baat nahi hai. It is about the app download ho jaye, and hence, kal ho na ho is what I have put in. So customer kal hoga nahi hoga is important, not the app. He kal kar lega wo, koi baat nahi. As long as if he is with you, he will do it. So more important that we need to understand, don't trust the digital solutions or a chat or a bot or an email to the customer. Let him digest it at his own pace. Everybody will have its own appetite. Let him digest at his own pace. The second thing is AI and human. Everywhere we find AI, artificial intelligence, but there is a value of human intelligence as well. Please harness it where this is required. We all are here, we are not on a Google Meet. We wanted people to be present. Physical presence is important. Similarly, a human presence is important. Make it available when it is required and make it intuitively. When I say intuitively, you give an options to a customer in a chat bot and you keep surfing that I want to speak to a human. The moment you say I want to speak to a human, agent, friend, sorry I was not able to understand, sorry I was not able to understand. In one of the chat I said, you will never be able to understand. I told the chat, and the chat said, thank you very much. And I went to that brand because I knew them, so I told them, see, this is also appreciating me for this comment. So you need to be available when it is required. Don't make it act bullish. So if you want to use it robotic, convert things which are simple, but don't convert everything to a automation, because you need humans. Don't lose the customer. Third is the interaction history, where we said that yes, interaction history is important. You need to keep a summary of it. Otherwise, how will you go and connect between the two channels? And hence, the last word which I have said is more about the ऊपर वाला सब देख रहा है. So you should know the customer. The channel may not know the full information, but the brand knows the full information. And the customer only knows the brand, not the channel. So as long as you are having the whole summary of the customer, it's easier for you to handle the customer, know it proactively. The last one is extremely interesting, and I think it will evolve in time. Because of the whole ROI thing and the money thing, the whole omni-channel communication is more focused towards bringing the customer, retaining the customer, which is the first logistics about it. But then there's a reverse logistic as well. The reverse logistic can be in the return of products, it can be claims in insurance, it can be waivers in case of telecom or other companies, it can be anything which is the reverse logistics. We need to pay equal attention to our reverse logistic as well and make it as easy and as user-friendly as the first journey was. Because the moment I feel comfortable in that journey, that's when my brand loyalty increases, and I feel that brand is not only being there when I was trying to purchase it, but it's also available when I'm trying to return it as well. So return, claims, waivers are also important, and we need to take care of it. And hence, an interesting line that I could think was is, क्योंकि return भी कभी sale थी, right? Because कभी ना कभी वो sale हुआ था, and now it is return, so you need to pay as much of attention as to required there. So some key summarization, it's a must, no more a choice, omni-channel. You don't have an option. Don't rush, evaluate and do it. Tech partnership, as I said, you have to have the right marriages, right knots. Relax ROI, don't rush, ROI will come in. It's a product which will take time. Don't rush and start generating money or add leads to it. Be agile and be watchful, most important, that you see that what is going around in the environment, what is going around as my product, keep it updating and keep it fresh. And that's bring to the end of the presentation. Thank you and all the very best.